Hello everyone, welcome back to Row Scale Sandbox. Today we are going to be continuing theming our lovely railway. And first I want to start extending out beyond the cutting. If you didn't see, in our last episode we created this really lovely footpath that runs all the way along the track, and we also added in a couple of signals here and there. So without further ado, let's start continuing this railway. First of all, I'm going to extend the terrain that we're going to be working on. And now we can start extending the track. And I just want this to curve very gently around this way like this. I'm just trying to keep a nice distance between these two tracks. And now that is done, we can start adding the base. I'm just going to copy the stuff that we've got over here and just bring it along. And then slowly but surely, I shall fill up all the way under this track. This is as tedious as I remember it to be. Almost done. And now the even more tedious task of placing these side slopes next to the rail. I do like to give myself a lot of work, don't I? Alright, that's one half done. I've now got the less hard task of copying this over onto the other side, which shouldn't take that long. And there we go. Both sides are now done. And we can get on with doing something else. First of all, I would like to copy this signal and bring it all the way over here for the next section of track. I think putting it there gives us a good distance from where the previous signal is if we need to slow down. So that means we can copy this, just spin it round, and place it on the other side for trains coming in the other direction. Amazing. So now we've got the signals set up. We can finally start doing some decoration. So I'm going to try and put an edge of these two bits of terrain, and this is going to take me quite a while. So I'm just going to do this off camera. My goodness me, I have been busy. Look at this. Okay, so I had a bit of a change of plan when building this, but this is a change of plan for the better. So my current plan now is sort of get some color in here. I'm gonna have the vertical faces in a sort of stony cliff color, and then I'm gonna keep the flat areas with grass on. There we go. That is one half or one side done, and wow, yeah, this is really starting to come together. This is definitely looking like it was worth the hours of time I spent putting into building this. And there we go. That is both sides looking really, really nice. So I'm still considering whether to have the sides of the cutting colored in the same gray slate color. I'm not really sure how it'll work though compared to all of this. In fact, let me color it in, and then I'll make a decision from there. So it does look quite good. The only problem is if I were to color in these bits, that will color in the whole front of here. And I kind of want to keep these as more rolling hills because they sort of look really nice as green. I think this is okay. It transitions really nicely through here, through the cutting. So yeah, I think we're going to go with that. So now it is time for a good bit of foliage. And I'm thinking of putting quite a lot of bushes and trees to really bring it alive. Okay, I think it's looking good so far. Going around the bottom of this level and then along the top. I haven't even started on these cliffs over here. I'm now going to add in some lighter coloured bushes. I'm also forgetting to, you know, put some along the train line as well. So I'm going to have to go back and do that. All right, so now the base foliage is in. I know, just the base foliage. We can start to add some trees. But first of all, we need to continue this path and this fence, which again is going to take me quite a while. Perfect. I think something like that is just pretty good. And then the path is obviously just going to come in an angle like that. Then we've just got to continue the path all the way through the cutting. I'll just delete any rocks that are in the way. And then we can continue with some steps down on the other side. And now I've just got to run this next to the railway. And there we go. I'm pretty happy with that as it is. Now I've just got to add the fence in. Using the increment tool is actually quite useful because all I have to do is move it along once and it will snap directly into place. Although now the angles are a bit funny, I've taken it off because otherwise we just end up with strange gaps in the fence, which is not what you want. Right, and there we are at the end of this very long, seemingly long stretch of track. Wow, that took me quite a long time. I also noticed while doing this, look at how high our footpath is off the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through each one, and I'm just going to sort of lower this. There we go. That's a lot better, and now the fence has some height to it. Okie dokie. So now I think it is time to add just a couple of trees here and there. And yeah, they're not floating, thank gosh. Now, I am going to add a couple of trees up here. However, I am going to leave this quite empty because I have a plan for next episode, which I'm very excited to build. A couple up here too, and some right at the very top of the hill. I'm also going to add a couple of rocks around the place to add some more detail, really. Mainly down at the bottom here. And then just for a bit of colour, I'm going to add a couple of these red bushes in to just sort of, to look like sort of berries, I guess. And this will hopefully liven the place up a bit. And of course, I am going to add a field in this section because this is quite a large flat area, and I think it'll just fit quite nicely. And I think yellow is quite a nice colour for this field. It's the same colour as that one over there, and this is a good sort of a nice large wheat field. Of course, I'm going to need some hedges around this field. And I also think it'd be really cool if we had another footpath coming across this field. I think this sort of ties everything together a lot nicer than just sort of having, you know, a field and a footpath and a train line. It sort of makes it all feel like one countryside, which is quite nice. Can add a bit more foliage about the place. I'm also going to run some of this across the bottom of this cliff because we actually didn't do it. There we go. That actually looks really, really nice. And I think I'm going to add a couple of those red bushes as well to give it a bit of color. And there we go. That is looking really, really nice. I think one final detail. I'm going to add a couple more trees around here. A couple cheeky ones right in the middle of the field. And there we go. I think that is this area done. This, honestly, I love how this turned out. I'm really, really happy. I mean, the improvement from this to this, like, it's already getting so much better. I can't wait to show you guys what I'm going to be doing with this area up here in the next episode. But for now, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.